is Ashley and welcome to my channel. Today, sorry, I put my microphone in a different position. Let me know if it's working okay. Hello. Today we are going to be talking about the ICE protests in Chicago and in Portland, and then we're going to be talking about Mike Johnson calling the No Kings protest anti-American, and we're going to talk about AOC versus MTG. There's a lot of stuff going on, and so that is what we are going to be talking about today. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Like I said, I have my mic at like a different position, so let me know if it's sounds okay. Trying to get it out of my face because there's a lot of shadows. But anyway, hello, happy Sunday. Yes, there's lots to talk about. Thank you for joining. So we can just get right into it, I guess. Sounds less good. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. Does that sound better? Anytime I change something, I'm like, oh no. Okay. Hopefully it sounds better now. It's more like, okay, cool. Now it's more like in my face. All right. So hello. All right. So let's get into it. So first we're going to start off with Chicago. And over the weekend, there have been lots of ICE protests in Chicago. And, I was actually watching like live feeds of it, and someone that I just started watching is called Status Coup News, and they're really good. They have been out in Chicago live streaming everything. And so I wanted to talk about that today because JB Pritzker notably said that the state police were going to protect the protesters and weren't going to help ICE. But the reality on the ground is actually very different. And I think if you watch any of these live stream protests, you can see that. And so I wanted to talk about that today because I do think it's important. Even though JB Pritzker is fighting back, and I appreciate that, I do think it's important to still hold them accountable and do what they say they're going to do. Unless the police are going against JB Pritzker's word, which they totally could. Or JB Pritzker's orders, which they totally could be doing. But I do think that we should hold them accountable. And if he says that the state police are not going to help ICE and are going to protect protesters, then that's what they should do instead of inciting protesters. And so we are going to watch them. We're going to watch that right now. Oh, you follow them? Yeah, they're great. I just started watching them over the weekend, and yeah, they're great. Hello. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start off with JB Pritzker. So we're going to start off with him, the press conference when he says that the state police are going to protect the protesters. So we're going to watch that real quick just to refresh our memory on what he said he was going to do. All right. Okay, sorry, it's hard to hear the reporter, but basically he's asking, like, you say that sending the National Guard is illegal. What are you going to do to push back? So JB Pritzker is suing the government for sending the National Guard. It was the Texas National Guard, and they have actually left because a judge ordered them to leave. So they did leave, and so over the weekend, it was really just state police and ICE that were interacting with protesters because the National Guard had left. So just a little bit of context there. Okay, yeah, and then this is the other thing. He's asking if the reporter's asking if he's going to have like state police arrest ICE or federal agents who are kidnapping these immigrants, and he's gonna say no. He's gonna say no. He's not gonna do that. Well, he doesn't say no, but he kind of dances around it. I do think that that's what should happen because what they're doing is illegal. They don't have warrants. And they're largely not identifying themselves, and they're just taking people off the streets. And so I do think that it's going to have to come to that at some point, arresting federal agents. But nevertheless, let's listen to his answer because he's going to talk about it in a second.
No, we follow the law in Illinois. We follow the law. Unlike Donald Trump, we follow the law. We have made sure that, again, under state law, that we've provided funding for programs so that people know their rights, so that they can protect themselves. That's first and foremost. We've made sure that we've pleaded with the public to take action by using their phones to videotape anything and everything that they see. We want to make sure that that's recorded. It's why we were able to even show some video here today. And again, beyond going to court, we have encouraged people to shop at small businesses, to help out your neighbors. We provided support for those children who've been traumatized and for their families by those attacks. But it is the courts, in the end, that are going to have to rule on whether or not Donald Trump has the ability to call up National Guard from another state or from our state. The job of our state police, the mission that they've been given, is to keep the people who are in Broadview and who are protesting safe from ICE, who have been firing gas pellets at people.
Okay, now it's not just ICE though. Okay, it's not just ICE. Now, I don't know if they've been doing that. I don't know if the state police have been doing that, but the state police, we're gonna watch it, have batons, and they were they were going after protesters. They were they instigate, like they were going after protesters, and they had their batons, and the way that they were like inciting with them and handling protesters, the state police in Illinois, who he just said were supposed to protect the protesters, were also not being very friendly to them. And so I think that that's why I want to talk about this, because he said that they were supposed to be there to protect them, and that is not what they're doing.
They've been peacefully protesting.
They have been. It's all like, and that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's been that's the whole thing. They have been peaceful, and yet and still the state police who the governor says is supposed to be there to protect them, they have batons out there and trying to like brutalize these protesters. It's crazy. But I wanted to rewatch that, and we'll finish this here real quick, just because I wanted to refresh our memories on what J.B. Pritzker said.
Again, we follow the law. There are federal agents following what their orders are. We have our state police following my orders and the orders of the director of the state police.
They're not following it. Okay, so I just wanted to do that. They have the budget to keep their agents out of jail. Yeah, you're right. They do. I do think it would at least I do think it would be, I don't know, I guess to send a message, but I guess that would also probably escalate things too, but things are already so escalated. I don't know. I don't know. I do think that it's going to come to that at some point, but I may be wrong. I could be wrong. But you're right. They do have the budget to get them out of jail if they do go to jail. Okay, so this is status coup news, and so this is at Broadview, and this is in Chicago, and so there have been protests at Broadview across from the ICE facility in Chicago for a while now. The National Guard was there; they were told to leave. There was also a fence there that they were told to take down. Something that they put in place in this specific area is free speech zones, so they're only allowed to protest from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and so that is the allotted time where they're allowed to protest. Now, and he's going to talk about it here in a second, but it is frustrating that we're supposed to have this First Amendment right. We're supposed to have free speech. And yet when you want to protest, when you want to utilize that free speech, they have to give you free speech zones. And you can only protest in this window of time, which is ridiculous, because the point of protest is to make things uncomfortable. It is to slow down, ICE. It is to impede their processes. Like, the whole point of a protest is to make things uncomfortable. It's not like having this allotted time that just works for them is not what this is supposed to be. And so that is very frustrating, but that's what they have. And that's what they have. They have from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to protest. Of course, people have not been following that. They have been going before and stayed after, which I think, I think should be allowed. It's crazy that they are putting a time frame on when people can protest. But this is in the morning of the protest at Broadview in Chicago, and ICE agents were coming in and they were antagonizing the protesters, and that's why the state police had to then come out and try to, I don't know. Are they protecting the protesters? Are they protecting ICE? Like, I don't know. To me, they don't look like they're protecting the protesters, but that's just my personal opinion. All right, so let's watch this.
Out here. Yeah,
So
another ICE vehicle coming here out of the Harvard approach. And a correction that the gentleman who I just went and spoke to pointed out to me is that those officers in the tan, and I'll have John pan back to him after the ICE vehicle drives away there, but those officers there in the tan that we see there who have the gas mask at their shoulder, at their hip, correction, they are sheriff's deputies who are actually out here. So state police don't see presence from them. That is sheriff's deputies. Another difference about this crowd from previous nights is also the intermingling of the two different factions out here. Both the protesters who are out here to demonstrate against the ICE presence here in Broadview and the operations here in the Chicago area, but also supporters of ICE, of the current administration, are also in that crowd.
That's so wild. That's so wild. And apparently, the ICE, they created an AI image of this lady outside of I think it was in Portland. It was supposed to be in Portland. They created an AI image of this lady in Portland with this sign that said, "I support ICE." And they posted it, and it was not real. And they were out here like, "Oh, see, thank you to our supporters. Thank you." But I guess in Chicago, they actually have some supporters, which is insane. I know that there was also one of the guys that was actually on the Antifa roundtable went to this protest and was trying to like instigate, and was they pushed him out, which I thought was really cool. But they pushed him out. They were like, "Leave, you have to leave, racist," and he ended up leaving. But it is kind of insane that they're like pro-ICE protesters. I know a lot of them are trying to go there now that the National Guard's not there, to try to like instigate, to try to make it into something, to try to make this protest to seem like it's violent or it's out of control, so that they can send the National Guard back or the military. But that is just not what's happening, even when they're trying to go in there and instigate. But it's wild. It's insane that they're pro-ICE protesters or like supporters. This is insane.
And we've also seen some right-wing content creators out here in the last couple of days out provoking the protesters, trying to create content. Yeah, they are in that crowd right now. We watched several cross over there, so there's likely to be a little bit more of an antagonizing presence there inside that crowd, and that's something that we will watch closely. Actually,
I think it's, let me see. I know that there's a point where they are like pushing him out. I think.
Sorry, my hands are full. I'd shake your hand, but yeah.
Oh, it's
What I keep saying is, this is exactly what he wants.
Don Lemon has been there at Portland and Chicago. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the guy. Okay, Don Lemon has been there in Portland and Chicago. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Don Lemon fan, but he has been out there.
Thank you, man. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
See, they're just saying racist, 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 and they're getting him out, I don't think that, like, I understand that they're there and they're trying to provoke people, but I think, like, pushing him out and being like, you need to leave, we don't want you here, I think it's a good thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe, I don't know. But, like, they're there to instigate. They are there to frame this in a certain way that it's violent or uncontrollable. That's the whole reason they're there. And this guy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was, again, also at that Antifa roundtable that the president had. And so he is specifically there to make sure that they frame it in a way that they can bring the National Guard back and that they can bring the military in. And so I think it's good to make them leave. I think it's good to be like, hey, you're not welcome here. You should leave. We don't want you here.
Yeah, we've got a right-wing content creator, these trolls that have come here into the crowd just to stir up shit.
He gets this content, and then he pushes it as propaganda to say that people are attacking him.
Yeah.
So this is.
Well, I mean, they're saying racists go home, and he should go home. He should leave. I mean, if he wants to be there, then he can go with the other pro-ICE people. I don't know. Like, the whole reason he's trying to be in this crowd is because he wants to instigate something.
This is how the right's propaganda works.
Yeah, absolutely. That's John that you're hearing from there.
He loves it. Yeah, this is what he wants. This is Don, JT,
Don, nice to meet you. Sorry, my hands are full. I'd shake your hand.
Okay.
But, yeah.
All right. We don't have to watch the rest of that. But I just thought, I thought that was good, and I wanted to watch parts of that. Now, let's get to the part where, okay, so this is the part where there's actually some, like, it seems like there's some clashes between the police and the protesters. And so what's happening is they actually try to shut down the protest 20 minutes before 6 o'clock. And so again, there's an allotted time for free speech. There's a free speech zone. There's an allotted time for it. And it is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which I already think is ridiculous. But they are then saying, okay, well, now we are going to cut that short and you can't actually stay till 6 p.m. And so what they kept doing is they kept pushing them back from the ICE detention center. And so they kept pushing them back and pushing them back and pushing them back, so that they would get further and further away from the ICE detention center. So that's what they were doing. And this is what it looked like. I believe this was last night.
Probably out of an abundance of caution at the moment.
And then this guy was really cool. He was standing there and he was yelling at them and he was saying, like, hey, you're doing this before 6. I don't understand. And he was really brave. Good for him. He stood in front of everybody right at the police and he said, hey, it is not 6 p.m. yet. We are allowed to protest. I think he might be a lawyer. That's what I saw another piece of content say.
Drove by that provoked the protesters.
I know, but it's not 6 o'clock yet.
Yep, they are. Yep, the protesters have been moved out of the protest area early by police.
Yes.
This is one of those themes that we were looking for. Yeah, a lot of.
Well, no, and again, who are they protecting? I want to know, who are they protecting? They're not protecting the protesters' right to free speech. They're not protecting them. They're not protecting them by moving forward with batons and threatening everyone with batons. Like, they're not. That's not protecting the protesters. Is that really protecting them? Because it's not. It's not protecting them. It's protecting ICE. That's exactly what they're doing.
Confusion here from the crowd. They have repeatedly said it's not 6 p.m. or chanting 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Officers, this is very confusing. There's an executive order.
Build a website you love.
Damn, sorry. I was like, I got all this ready and I was like, I'm going to put it in the moment that it happens so that way we don't have to see ads. Okay, but anyway, I'll play this ad but this is crazy. And so this is what's happening right now in Chicago. And even though they're allowing them a specific time to free speech, they're still going against that. And so listen, I like JB Pritzker. I think he's okay, but he's talking a good talk, but I feel like he needs to back that up. And I feel like if he gave them orders to protect them, then they should protect them and they shouldn't be protecting ICE. But as it looks right now, they're protecting ICE. I feel like it looks like they're protecting ICE. I don't feel like they're protecting the protesters or their right to free speech whatsoever. Okay. So yeah, this guy, he was awesome. Oh.
You have asked us to disperse. We do not understand the order. We don't know where to go. This is confusing. It's volatile. You're being aggressive. You're being inappropriate. You have not accurately explained why you're doing this. This could lead to violence because you're being aggressive.
Yeah, they were, and they were pushing them. They were like pushing them, and they all kind of got together, and they were like, move, move, move. And we might see it in a second, but they were being extremely aggressive. And so that's what's so frustrating about all of this is that like that the state police is working against the protesters. That's exactly what they're doing. Excuse me. Not that I expected anything different, but I think that if their orders, or if JB Pritzker said that they were supposed to protect the protesters, then that's what they should be doing, and they should be allowing them to protest instead of agitating the situation, which is exactly what they're doing.
You have weapons and you're advancing on peaceful protesters. This is inappropriate. This is illegal. This is violating our First Amendment rights. We have the right to protest until 6 p.m. That's per the executive order of the mayor of Broadview. That is a published executive order that's in effect right now. Please check with your command authority, because you need to coordinate your response and allow us to protest until 6 p.m. What you're doing prior to 6 p.m. not only violates the First Amendment, but it violates the mayor's executive order.
Yeah, and I think it's important to like call this out. I do think it's important to call this out because in every city, what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to criminalize protesting. That is exactly what we're doing. And we're going to watch Mike Johnson talk about how he thinks how the No King's Day protest is like a I Hate America protest and all this other bullshit, right? They are trying to demonize. They are trying to criminalize protesting. That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it seem like everyone who is going out there and protesting against ICE and protesting against this administration, that they are anti-American and that they are terrorists. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And so if a Democrat governor says, hey, we are going to protect their right to free speech, we're going to protect them, and we're going to make sure that they can still protest, then they need to stay on top of that. So I don't know if they're just not following his orders, or if they're just not following it because, you know, they're going to do what they want to do, or if like JB Pritzker just is not paying attention enough to care. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And it is very frustrating. Because this is what they want. This is what they want. They want to see a clash with the police and the protesters. This is what the federal government wants. They want a clash with the protesters and the police, so that way they have probable cause to do whatever they want. And so by them cutting the protest short and trying to agitate protesters, that's exactly what they're aiding and doing. They're helping the federal government at that point.
It's inappropriate, it's aggressive, it's illegal, it's unconstitutional. You need to explain what you want us to do,
do you
to
see
comply
that?
with your order. You're going to create a violent situation. There are people that are going to be arrested. It's possible that you yourselves, state troopers, you'll be arrested for aiding and abetting. I will make a citizen's arrest if you violate our rights. I'm giving you a fair warning.
I love him. He said, I'm going to make a citizen's arrest if you violate our rights. I don't think that's how that would go, but I do love him. I love him, and I love how, I do. I love him. He's great. I was watching this over the weekend, and I was like, that's right. You tell them. You tell them. I don't think it's going to go that way, but, you tell them.
You need to disperse. You need to step back and stand down.
Look at them.
Hearing there, folks here in the crowd pleading with officers to let them continue to protest until 6 p.m., which was the agreed upon time.
Now they're moving forward.
Police now saying, get back, get back. That group in black now holding firm there in the middle of the street. They're coming into contact with officers now who are pushing, shoving with the batons. Now the group being moved. What?
Yeah, do you see that?
Yep. Yep, we're seeing people being pushed.
Is that protecting them? Is that protecting them? Is that protecting them at all?
Down, a lot of pushing, shoving. Police now taking people into custody.
Do you see this?
Fucking pussies! Police repeatedly yelling, "Get back, get back!"
Look at them. They're like being trampled.
And
They're
now
literally being trampled.
holding a steady line.
Want weight loss
Oh my
treatment with
gosh.
no...
Okay. Oh. Okay. Anyway, we're okay. I'm gonna go to the next video after this. But literally, like, that is insane. As you can see, they are being aggressive. They're being insanely aggressive, and there's no point because it was not 6 o'clock yet, and so they were not supposed to leave yet. They still had time to protest, and yet the state police were the ones who were aggressing on them. They were aggressing on them. They were not protecting them at all. And what part of that was protecting the protesters? Like, what part of that was protecting the protesters? And I'm just like pissed because I feel like people like Gavin Newsom and people like JB Pritzker are talking a good talk and are saying that they're fighting back, and I just don't like, I don't know, like, hopefully the lawsuit works, but outside of that, they need to be able to protest, and the state police should not be this aggro towards them. Of course, I assume that they would be like this because this is how most protests go when police are involved, but like, for him to say that they're supposed to be there to protect them, well, then they should be, and he should be monitoring that, and he should be making sure that they are protecting them, and they're not. They are aggressing on them. It's ridiculous. Holy shit, what the F is going on here? We should have a First Amendment rights, don't we? Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't like, no, they're eroding them in real time. And that's why I think it's important that if Democrat governors are going to say, we're going to protect your right to free speech, we're going to make sure that we protect you and not ICE, then you need to monitor that and make sure that that's what's actually happening, because it's not. The state police is not protecting the protesters. They're not protecting their right to free speech. They are being aggressive with them. And like, he is not doing what he is saying. JB Pritzker is not living up to his word. And so I just wanted to point that out because I think it's important. I think it's really important. And the guy at Status Quo News, actually, he had a great monologue about that. Yeah. So he had a great monologue that I wanted to watch. And then this is the last of Chicago, and then we'll get into Portland. But Chicago, it's been a struggle there. Like, it's been a struggle, and the state police are not protecting the protesters at all. And so I just wanted to make that known because I think it's important. I really think it's important that we monitor this stuff and we make sure that these Democrats who say that they're fighting back actually live up to their word and actually do what they say, because what he said was going to happen is not what's happening. Especially as this shit gets worse, especially as the federal government keeps demonizing protests, even protests like the No Kings protests, like they need to be serious about protecting protesters and protecting the right to free speech. But I just don't know if the Democrats are. Okay.
Thinking that is with law enforcement. Sheriff's Department, John says, perhaps. We've seen police actually out here, the state police. In fact, you see it there. John, if you want to focus on that cell phone that's standing up in the air on that pole. This is that, just to illustrate, police have been out here with their own cameras, videotaping everything that's happening. You also see body cameras on these police. So also recording everything that is happening out here. And we've seen, of course, ICE recording in a different context. They've been recording to produce propaganda out of their mission here as they brutalize protesters.
Yep. Okay. I know he has like a really, here we go. He has like a really good, not like monologue, but he has a good speech.
Right now it's status quo and dancing protesters as they face down dozens of Illinois State Police in riot gear. So if you're watching this stream, please share it. so that people can see
Okay.
of police.
We have got to the point
Oh my
where
gosh, damn it. Okay. I tried to get the other browser without the commercials, but I don't know. I didn't do it, but I'll just get YouTube Premium. I just need to get YouTube Premium and then I won't see the ads, I think. But, Brave. Yes, I looked into it, but I didn't download it for some reason. I forget why, but I need to do that. Okay. Anyway, he has a really good speech and I just wanted to listen to it because he had a really good speech the other night.
What's happening inside that ICE detention facility and processing facility is that people are being held there right now. Right now. Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, has repeatedly condemned the Trump administration for its tactics here in the Chicagoland area and across Illinois, going as far as filing a lawsuit to make sure the National Guard couldn't be deployed here, yet putting Illinois State Police out here to defend that state violence that he is decrying on the one hand and then defending it with his own officers on the other. It's absurd. I suspect that that's part of the reason that the protesters out here are playing music, dancing. They understand, they see the absurdity of this moment, and they want corresponding action from their leaders. If you're going to say one thing, do it.
Yep. I love this. I was like, yes. That's why I wanted to talk about this because it's so frustrating. It's like, if you say that you were going to do something, then do it. This is an important time. Like, I'm done with Democrats just trying to get the PR vote or just trying to like PR through this shit. This is not like, I mean, I commend J.B. Pritzker for saying it how it is and saying this is fascism and fighting back. But like, if you say you're going to do something, then do it. We can't keep doing this fake shit anymore, right? Like, if you are going to protect free speech, then do it and make sure the police officers listen to you. Like, and I understand like asking that is a lot because I don't know if they will, but it's a very frustrating situation. Yeah.
Back up your actions, or back up your words rather, with action.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to watch because I did want to ask I wanted to ask the question, who are the state police really protecting? Because this is going to happen, and I think this is going to move. This is not just going to happen in Chicago. It's not just going to happen in Portland. Memphis has National Guard there right now. They were roaming the streets over the weekend, and they're going to come to Missouri soon because our governor asked for them. And so this is going to happen in a lot of different cities, and this is going to continue to happen. And our Democratic representatives and politicians need to step up. They need to step up. And if they say that they're going to fight back, and if they say that their police are going to protect the protesters, then they need to mean it and they need to do it. They need to not have police literally agitating and going after and being aggressive with protesters. He needs to make sure they don't do that. I mean, I know that's a lot to ask. It sounds impossible, but like if he says that that's what they're going to do, then he needs to do that. And he needs to protect free speech because this is insane. And the only people that are going to stop this are protesters and are people who are fighting back. Speaking of that, let's talk about Portland. And so there are more inflatables in Portland. This one's a little bit more fun. Okay, this isn't as hectic, but as aggressive. I mean, the ICE facility people are being aggressive, but as you can see, I don't see state police here. They don't seem to be here in Portland. But let's watch this. Look at all. Okay, there's a peacock now. Okay, let's figure out who they are. Okay, so there's an elephant. So the frog's back here. There's an what are those called? Oxtail. I don't know. And then there's a elephant. There's a unicorn. I'm not sure what this is. And then there's a peacock, and then there's another unicorn. So there's just all sorts of people. And now I think a lot of people, this has started a trend, and now people are like, I'm going to go to the No Kings protest in inflatable, which I'm going to the one in St. Louis, and I am not going to go in an inflatable, but just because I feel like that'd be hard to walk. And if you're like marching a long way, I feel like that's really hard. Also, like, I understand that like the police may not mess with you. I don't know. They pepper sprayed that frog like in the only area where he could breathe, which was insane. But like, I feel like maybe they'll be a little bit, maybe not as aggressive with you if you're wearing that, maybe not. But my whole point is like, if they are aggressive with you, I feel like it's harder for you to get away if you're in a costume, or it's harder for you to like figure out what to do if you're in a costume, because it's this big inflatable costume. But I think it's great. I think people should do it. I'm just not going to do it, but I think people should do it because it does show how absurd all of this is. People should be able to protest, and people should be able to protest iced masked men going around kidnapping people in their neighborhoods. But let's I just wanted to watch this because I think it's great. You're just dancing. Oh wait, okay, there's a giraffe. There's a giraffe. Okay, there's a giraffe. There's a giraffe. Okay. Oh my god, they just keep multiplying. It's great. And they're telling them to leave. Oh, those people are wearing pumpkins. They're wearing pumpkins on their head. Oh my god, this is great. And there's the original frog. They have a sign now. They have a sign like the Frog Brigade, because now there's more frogs. I love this. This is wonderful. This is the one thing that's like been making me smile recently is everyone dressing up in Portland. It's great. I'm trying to figure out what this blue one is. Oh, it's a shark. Oh, it's a shark. Oh, it's a dino. Okay. And then there's the, I love how the panda just casually walks into the frame. This is wonderful. This is so funny. And they're just dancing. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, now they're coming out. Uh-oh. So I don't know. Is that ICE or the police? I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. I can't tell. They're pushing people. Oh my god, look, they have snipers. They have snipers on the top of the building. I know that they've had snipers on the top of the building, but it's just wild to see. Like, and that's why I am glad in Portland they're dressing up, because like it's so insane that they literally have like snipers on the roof while you have this group of people in inflatable costumes. Like, what are you doing? It's insane. And then look at all this. Look at all this force for people in inflatable costumes that are singing. I mean, it's like, it's insane. Maybe a dragon with silver wings. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That one's a little bit tricky. It's hard to tell that one. LOL, that was good. Yeah, this is crazy. This is so crazy. I'm glad I'm glad it looks crazy. This imagery is great, and a lot of people are like, I wonder how the history books are going to like show this moment. And you know what, I hope they do. I know a lot of people are like, one day we will get justice, and we will get this in the history books, and we will show how crazy this administration is. I hope so. But they have been editing out things from our history books for decades now. So I hope that this portion, I mean, for the time being, they're probably going to keep make this out to be, oh, Antifa terrorists, these crazy Antifa leftists, because that's exactly what they're doing. But hopefully there will be a day where people look back at this time and be like, and are like, wow, that president, that administration is so insane. And fascism is just people who are insecure, trying to be strong men and look strong in front of, people who are in inflatable costumes singing. All right. They're going up to them too. I love it. They're not afraid. Oh my God, it's kind of wild. They're not afraid. They're just going up to them. Oh my God. Oh wait, is that there's like a chicken back there? Oh my God, there's all sorts of people here. This is crazy. Okay, we're not gonna watch the whole thing because I know they're just out here. But I just think this little levity of what's going on. I feel a little levity, bringing a little levity to the situation here. Yeah. You can hear the squeaking of all the different. I feel like I hear this squeaking noise, and I feel like it's probably someone in one of those costumes. Oh, there's a cow. Oh no, that's not a cow. That's I don't know. Oh no, that's one of the unicorns. Is it squeaking? I think it's probably one of the people in the costumes. The pumpkin heads are something I really love. I love the pumpkin heads. I that's creative. Okay, that's creative. I really do like that. I don't know how comfortable that is. And again, if you have to move or tear gas happens, it's probably not the safest option. But I do love the creativity. I do like the creativity of the pumpkin heads. That is nice. Especially, Halloween. I love it. All right. I just wanted to watch that real quick. But the next thing I wanted to watch is actually has to do with this whole theme of today, which is our free speech is getting eroded in real time. And something that happened over the weekend that is proof of that is there was actually a WGU reporter that was detained after recording ICE, and violently detained. And they said that she was throwing something at them, but then she got released. And so everyone is pretty sure that they lied and that she was not throwing things at them. She was just recording them, and they didn't like that. And so they detained her. And so we're going to watch that video of ICE detaining her after lying and say that she threw things at them, which she did not. So let's watch that real quick. Really insane that they're doing this to a reporter. Very Israel coded, if it's a very Israel coded thing to do. So let's watch this. Look at how they're look at what they're doing. Look at how they're handling her. Look at this. You're allowed to videotape them, by the way. You're allowed to do that. It is legal to do that. It's legal to do that with police officers too. But look at what they're doing. Look at how they're handling her. Do you see this? This is insane. Yes. Yeah, they are. I don't know what happened to them.
He was fired just 3 weeks before.
Yeah, no, they are. They're terrorizing everyone. And she was a reporter, and she was standing out there recording them, which she is allowed to do, which is her job, by the way, which is her job. And even if it wasn't her job, she is still a citizen. And so she is allowed to record them. You are allowed to record them. That is a legal thing. You are allowed to record them. And yet they tackled her. They lied and said she was throwing things at them. And so they literally arrested her for, this is what they're doing now. They're starting to arrest people for obstructing justice or impeding their work or whatever the hell. They're starting to do that. And that is not legal. You are allowed to record them. You are allowed to record police officers officers. You are allowed to do that. And so it's insane that they're literally taking, and not even just like anyone, they're taking a reporter, tackling her and arresting her for doing her job, and then lying about what happened so that way they could arrest her even though she got let go because she didn't throw things at them. And so this is just going to get worse. And that's why the 2 different times that they have shot people, one they killed, I don't think they killed the other person, but the 2 different times that they have shot people, either border patrol, customs, or ICE, or whoever, because they're all working together, they have lied about the reasons that they shot these people. Not that it would make it okay, but they have lied about the reasoning behind it. They keep lying, and now they're shooting people and lying about it. And that's why the free speech and our free speech and being able to record them and protest them is so important. And we're going to talk about what happened to Prem Talker after trying to post a video of this to TikTok, which just got bought by some Trump, by millionaires and billionaires who are Trump supporters, who have, I believe, given money to Trump. All right, ICE raided a warehouse at my job, which caused delayed deliveries for every store in the area. I am so sorry that you had to go through that, first and foremost, because that's terrifying. I mean, they are terrorizing communities. They're literally terrorizing communities. That is what they're doing. And anytime those communities are trying to fight back, they're being told that they're terrorists or they're Antifa and they're all these different things. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They're trying to erode the First Amendment. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And so let me actually show you what Prem Talker posted. So Prem Talker tried to post a video of this reporter online, and this is what happened. So this is right here. So Prem Talker said, TikTok took down my 8-second video featuring this image of Debbie Brockman, the news producer just detained by Trump's CBP agents, saying it violates the joy of TikTok. Here we go. So he was trying to post this, and then it says violation recent, shocking and graphic content. Part of the joy of TikTok is coming across new and unexpected content, but the platform is not a place to intentionally shock, upset, or disgust others. We recognize this type of content may be triggering, cause psychological harm, or lead to extreme discomfort. We do not allow gory, gruesome, disturbing, or extremely violent content. So he's not allowed to post a picture to TikTok of what happened, of what the CBP agents were doing to this reporter. He's not allowed to post that on TikTok because it violates the joy of TikTok. That is insane. And it comes after they're saying that the federal government was saying they're trying to reimagine TikTok. They're trying to reimagine TikTok. And so now they're reimagining it in how they want people, in what they want people to see and how they want people to feel. So much so that you can't even post what the authorities are doing to this reporter. A reporter can't post something like this. Prem Talker, who is a reporter, who's a journalist, cannot post something like this. This is bad. This is bad. This is terrifying shit. And I wish all these free speech people who are always like free speech, who are crying about free speech back when Biden was president, having mental breakdowns because they thought that their free speech was being stepped on. Where are they now? Where are they? Because free speech is getting eroded in this country every day in real, tangible ways. And none of them seem to care. Except for Andrew Schultz, when he's like, "Oh, well, I didn't vote for this," or "My bad," or da da da. What? Like, you did vote for this. This is what you wanted. But where are they now? This is bad. And not only that, not only were they like millionaires who support Trump and his administration, there's also like there's been news going around that Barron Trump is going to work at TikTok and is going to have a top role at TikTok now. Like all the corruption, I'm sorry, I hate Biden. I think he's a war criminal. I hate Biden, all right? But like all the corruption and all of the things that they said he did is quite literally nothing compared to the Trump family. Quite literally nothing compared to the insane, blatant corruption of Trump and his family. Now he's trying to there was like a watch commercial that he did the other day. Now he's shilling watches, okay? As he's president. This is insane. Like, this is insanity. And this is all happening. And now his son might have a role at TikTok where they are actively suppressing speech and suppressing state violence against reporters and journalists. This is not good. Like, this is actually really, really bad. And another thing that I want to talk about on the same on the same like tone of trying to get rid of free speech or erode our free speech is what Mike Johnson said recently about the No Kings protest. All right, so when I told a customer who were asking where a certain product is, I told them to, and to my surprise, they blamed ICE. Good. I'm glad they blamed ICE. I think a lot of people are waking up to see, like, I don't know. I do think a lot of people are realizing this is, well, first of all, it's not sustainable. Like, to keep kidnapping people off the streets, it's not sustainable. Like, community wise, you're gonna have volatility because their neighbors and people in that community are going to fight back when masked agents come into your community, don't identify themselves, and kidnap people without warrants. It's gonna create volatility because people are gonna fight back. But then I also think that it's not sustainable with the economy as well, because now you're getting rid of workers, you're getting people who bought things, you're getting rid of people who participated in society, and you are halting, like you're saying, you're halting businesses, and not that that's my first and foremost concern. My concern is with these immigrants and their humanity. But I do think a lot of conservatives or more center or more liberal people, yeah, if it hurts the economy and it's creating volatility and it's creating instability in business and in the economy, then yeah, I think they're going to get upset. And I think that they're going to start fighting back too. And I think they realize that this is not sustainable. This is not sustainable at all. And I just, listen, I think they want volatility. I think that's the purpose. They want volatility because they want to be able to militarize our streets, because they want martial law. And I think they're trying to do it before the midterms. And I think that's what all of this is. So they want volatility. They want instability. That's what they want. What happened to Trump coin? Well, there's still, I don't know. Well, I mean, Congress is like the only one that is supposed to be able to approve a coin, or whatever. But it's supposed to be an act of Congress to put a president on a coin or do a new coin or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but who knows what's going to happen. Now they're trying to do like a $250 bill. I don't know. It's really ridiculous. Honestly, all of it is. It's like, it's dictatorship, man. It's dictatorship. So everyone who's like, he's not a dictator, he's not a fascist, then why is he acting like one? Then why is he's acting exactly like it? I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's really ridiculous. Economically not sound too. No, exactly. It's not economically sound at all. A two-faced coin makes no sense. I know they want to put Trump's face on both sides of the coin, which is just stupid. Which is stupid, but that's what they want to do. And now, like, my whole thing is when I saw the $250 bill, I was like, why? First of all, why $250? I guess they're just trying to do it more than the 100, because if it was anything less than that, he would be like, no, I want it to mean more. I mean more. I'm worth more than just, you know, $50 or whatever, you know? He's like, no, it needs to be $250. Really stupid, really ridiculous. I don't understand it, but they want to put him on a $250 bill and make a $250 bill for what? I'm not sure. Who is going to use a $250 bill? I don't think anyone, but okay, it's so dumb. 2IT says we shouldn't call them Nazis or fascists and make fun of Stephen Miller for being 410. Okay, you know what? On Wednesday, I might talk about TYT because I haven't talked about them in a really long time. And I know they've been in under a lot of fire for a minute now. And it's really ridiculous that we're not supposed to call them Nazis or fascists. So we're not supposed to call them Nazis or fascists, which objectively they're acting like and they're using the same playbook as. And so, I mean, just like historically and factually, if you see other fascist governments, this is the playbook, this is what they're doing. So they're wrong, and calling that out and saying that as a fact, because it is, should not be why can't I think of the word? Controversial. It should not be controversial to call them fascists, because that's what they are. That's how they're acting. That's what they're doing. And so it should not be controversial. But then the crazier thing is to not make fun of them. What do you mean? Why not? Why not? Why do we have to play nice? Why do we have to play nice? Like, this is what I'm sick of. Like, and this is so funny because TYT for years have been like, oh, we need to stop playing nice. We need to stop being so centrist. We need to stop being do this, going after all the Democrats. And they were right. And now they're like, oh, don't make fun of Stephen Miller and how tall he is. Okay, then what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to fight back? To you, there is no way to fight back. To you, there is no way that we are supposed to legitimately fight back instead of trying to be their friends. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. There are some people out there who, sure, maybe you can persuade. I don't know, whatever. But there also are people out there, like these ICE agents who are getting recruited by ICE right now, who are not your friends. They're out there specifically because they want to brutalize Black and brown people. Specifically, there was a journalist that went to these ICE recruitment drives or whatever, and they interviewed the people trying to get into ICE, and they literally said it directly. They said it directly that they wanted to go after brown people. Directly, open, and honestly. Those are the people that you want us to be friends with. That Jank or Anna or whoever want us to be friends with or want us to like give the benefit of the doubt of. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. No, you should be able to make fun of them. You should be able to laugh at them and call them silly because they are. And I'm going to look into that and I'm going to talk about them because that's insane. For money laundering, the $250 bill. Maybe. They have a video scolding AOC in contrast to Majority Report, which says we should make fun of them. Okay, I'll talk about that on Wednesday because I'll find that clip and talk about it on Wednesday because that's insane. That's insane. That's so insane. Then how are you like that just comes to the point. They're just being the liberals that they used to scold. That's what they're doing. They're just being the centrist libs that they used to scold. Because how are we supposed to fight back then? We're not supposed to make fun of them. We're not supposed to call them fascists. We're not supposed to call them Nazis or whatever. And I'm sure they have problems with how people are protesting. So then how are people supposed to fight back? Then how are you supposed to fight back against this? Then the only logical explanation is that you don't want people to fight back. That's the only logical explanation. Really insane. I call them all kinds of names. Yeah. No, believe me, when I'm home alone, I do too. Which is so funny because I know like the surveillance state is getting very real now, okay? And I know that like it's getting very real, and I know that ICE, I haven't watched it yet, but Taylor Lorenz has done a video about how ICE is like how they can track you, or they might be able to see your location like no matter where you are, which is terrifying. But which is terrifying. But the surveillance state is very real right now, and so I'm like talking to myself, you know, and I'm like, man, maybe I should stop like saying things out loud in my apartment, because what if they can hear me? It's like, oh well. I mean, oh well, man. At this point, oh well. That's kind of where I am with the surveillance state stuff. I'm like, you know what? I've talked shit enough about ICE and everything like that. And if they're really going to go hard on this surveillance state and start going after people of, you know, what they're saying or what they're posting, then, oh well. Oh well. It's where we are. I guess it doesn't matter. But, no, it does matter. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just going to keep doing it, because at this point, what else are you supposed to do? I don't know. Okay. So let's watch what Mike Johnson said about did I just change? Oops, sorry. What Mike Johnson said about the No Kings protest.
If you don't understand.
Okay, so I had it up and then it just totally like I must have clicked something. I don't know what I did. All right. Let's watch this, and it's gonna
head to next weekend. That's when thousands are expected to descend about the nation's capital for a No Kings rally. This is video from previous No Kings rallies across the country in June. It is set to take place on October 18th, right in front of the U.S. Capitol. The peaceful movement seeks to send a message to President Trump saying America does not put up with would-be kings. Today, multiple Republican leaders called next week's event a, quote, Hate America rally.
This Hate America rally that they have coming up for October 18th, the Antifa crowd and the pro-Hamas crowd and the Marxists, they're all going to gather on the mall.
This is about one thing and one thing only: to score political points with the terrorist wing of their party, which is set to hold, as Leader Scalise just commented on, a Hate America rally in D.C. next week.
And then October 18th is when the protest gets here. This will be a Soros paid-for protest where his professional protesters show up, the agitators show up. We'll have to get the National Guard out. Hopefully.
Okay. They said this is a Soros-backed thing. Again with this, these protesters are paid. This is Soros-backed. Who is getting paid? Please point me in that direction, because they just keep saying this shit. And I'm like, no, I know you can't. I know it's hard for you to believe that people actually care and are willing to go out and protest and stand up for what they believe in. I understand that you might not understand what it's like to have grassroots movement to actually care about this shit, because you, Speaker Johnson, you, whoever this guy is, might not actually care about the policies that you say you care about because you lie every day. But there are people who actually care about this shit, who mean what they say. And this is not about getting paid. This is about people fighting back. And so I feel like it's just a lot of projection when they're like, oh, they're paid protesters. Oh, it's Soros backed, because they don't believe what they say, because they don't believe in the policies they want to promote to their constituents. And so they think everyone is lying. They think everyone has to be getting paid, because why else would they do it? Why else would they go out there and do that? And now he's saying we're going to have to bring in the National Guard, and but do you see how they're already framing this? They're already framing this as though it's violent or it's Antifa or whatever. He called all these people Marxists. Like, listen, the No Kings Day in my city, is like, the people who are organizing it are really great, and they organize a lot of other stuff. It's not the 5051 movement this time. Well, I think they're doing it in other parts of St. Louis, but like other parts of Missouri, I mean, but like in St. Louis, the one in the city is going to be organized by a lot of different organizations, but most of them do other protests and other things. And like, it's not just like No King's Day, it's also other stuff. But a lot of these protests, or this No King's Day protest is just a very widespread, and there are a lot of different people there. It's not just like progressives and leftists. It's also like liberals and centrists, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a wide span of people. And so it's really wild that they're going up there and they're saying this is Antifa, they're Marxist, they're this, they're that, when that is just not the case. That doesn't apply to everyone. That just is not the case. And so it's very wild. Nelly organized it in St. Louis. Did he really? I don't think so. I'm like, Nelly, I don't really like Nelly. Nelly performed at like the he performed at something for Trump, didn't he? Because I remember he did that, and everyone in St. Louis was like, oh, F him. I actually, I'm Ann Chingy too. Really? I'm gonna have to look into that, because maybe I know one of the groups that's organizing the one in St. Louis, but maybe they're a part of it. I don't know. I'll have to look at that, because I know Nelly has performed for Trump recently, and I remember being very frustrated with him and not liking him after doing that. And I've met him a number of times. I went to his school, which was which is a scam, but you know, it was a scam, and that's why I have all my you're kidding. I was gonna say I know the people who are organizing this, and I don't think that's true. Like, I know the group who's doing it, and so I'm like, I don't think that's true. I have met Nelly and Chingy though. I went to Nelly's school. And it was a scam. Anyway, anyway, I was like, I don't think that's true. I'll have to look into that, because I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of different groups who are organizing it, but I know one of the groups that's a part of organizing it. And so I was like, I don't know. LMAO, I know. It's like, I am one of those people that I'm like, are you joking? I can't tell sometimes. I think it's the neurodivergency. Anyway. I don't know what I was saying. Let's continue watching this. That was funny. Okay.
It'll be peaceful. I doubt it. As well.
What? Okay, wait. I'm gonna go back. Okay, I'm gonna go back. He said we might have to get the National Guard. They're saying it'll be peaceful. I doubt it. Bro, do you remember the last No King's Day protest? It was completely peaceful. I've seen it all over my social media. Every single time it says peaceful. This is peaceful. Like, what is the what? What? This is crazy. Okay, let's watch this again.
Professional protesters show up, the agitators show up. We'll have to get the National Guard out. Hopefully it'll be peaceful. I doubt it. As well.
Next Saturday's rally is scheduled to take place from noon to 2. You can count on WUSA 9 to be there covering it all.
Okay, I need to showing the Portland protesters again. I need to make my sign. I have not made a sign yet for the No King's Day rally. I also did not sign up for it. I don't know. Personally, I keep getting texts being like, sign up for the No King's Day rally near you. I'm not going to sign up, but I am going to go. I've been debating about live streaming it. I don't know. I feel weird because I know a lot of people, I don't know how other people feel about being like on the camera or on whatever, but I've thought about it. So maybe, but I will go. I need to make my sign. I am excited. I haven't been to a protest in a minute. And I really do like going out and doing that, because it is... it helps you see that you're not alone and there are like-minded people around. Yeah, the last one I went to, I think, was the Wesley Bell protest. That one was intense. But yeah, but anyway, basically I wanted to watch that because I just wanted to show how they're trying to, the narrative that they're trying to put around the No King's Day protest. And that's why I feel like because I feel like the No King's Day protest, the way it's been going, the way it's been happening is very mild, and it's not like I feel like it's just like a very mild thing, but they are casting this narrative around everyone, that if you are against this administration, if you are against ICE, if you are against National Guard in your cities, then you are a terrorist, you are Antifa. And that is the narrative that they're trying to put out there. No matter how mild, no matter how peaceful, no matter what you do, that is the narrative that they're trying to put out there. And I wanted to point that out. And then when Saturday happens and it is completely the opposite of how they're trying to portray it, I think it's important that we see that and point that out, because they're trying to portray this as this is going to inevitably get violent, which I don't think it is. And I think there's going to be even more people that come out this time, and I think the protests are going to be even bigger this time. And so I'm excited for Saturday. I'm definitely going, so I'm excited for that. I heard Cori Bush is running again. Yes, she is running again. Cori Bush is running again. I am so excited. I signed up for her volunteer list. And I'm stoked. I'm so happy. I don't think they're doing anything just yet. Right now, they're just kind of promoting it. But here, let me see if I can find her thing. Oh yay, you're signing up too? Yay! I don't know, like I haven't looked at her website yet, but one second, okay, so we can watch her video of announcing that she's running again. It's a really great video. I am so excited. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. And every time I talk about Cori Bush, I talk about how much I love her, and how she is seriously, like, she's a real one. When she says something, she means it. And she is out there. And like I said, even when after she lost her last run, she still went out there. I saw her at protests when we had a Iran protest about stop bombing Iran, stop trying to start a war with Iran. She was at that protest. And she was just walking with us like normal. And I remember seeing her, and I just remember like, oh my gosh. And then there was a pro-Palestinian rally that we had. She was there. And so she lives up to it, man. Like, she says what she believes and she lives up to it. And even though she didn't win, she was still there for her community. She still came into her community. She was there when people were helping with the tornado. She helped. She is amazing, and I love her so much. And I'm not one for like idolizing politicians or whatever, but like, she's the one politician where I'm like, I love her, and I've met her a couple times, and her dad are just like so sweet and so nice, and her dad's awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I have nothing but amazing things to say about Cori Bush, and I love her so much. Do I think that she can beat Wesley Bell? How unpopular is Bell? I think that I do think she can beat Wesley Bell, and I think she can beat Wesley Bell now because I think AIPAC money is becoming very unpopular. And I think when she was initially running, there wasn't that kind of stigma around getting money for AIPAC as there is now. And I think now a lot of people understand that what Israel was doing is a genocide. And I think a lot of people, now the tides have really shifted on that fact. And so when Wesley Bell was running, the whole point was all of his ads were kind of like, he's the real Democrat. She goes against Biden. He's the real Democrat running, stuff like that. So I didn't even really talk about Israel, but he got shit tons of money from AIPAC. And that's why I did go to that protest against him, because he got shit tons of money from AIPAC, and he went to Israel as they were starving Palestinians. He went to Israel on a tour as Palestinians were being starved. And so when he had a town hall, we all, like, a lot of people went there and protested. And I think that he's had a lot of bad publicity since then, because he's still he's still standing up for Israel even now. And so I think that is going to be very bad for him. I think the AIPAC money that he's taken is going to be very bad for him. And I think it's going to work against him. Whereas before, I think it worked for him because people didn't really understand what that meant. Now, I think most people do. And I think most people, when he stands there and he defends Israel, I think most people look at that and find it disgusting. And so I do think that she can beat him. I also think that she is a fighter and she will fight against Donald Trump. She will fight against this fascism. She is not afraid to say what she means. And like I said, she lives up to it. And so I do think that that's what we need right now. I think people have the appetite for that right now. And I think a lot of people who are like normie libs or maybe centrist libs, are coming to understand that a lot of these corporate Democrats are not actually fighting back, and they're not actually trying. A lot of what they say is just words, and they're not really fighting. And I feel like Cori Bush is such a fighter that like she's what we need right now. And so I do think that she can beat him. I really do. And I think hopefully the community will be behind her this time. Bella's shit. He really is. He's horrible. I hate him so much. And like, I hate him so much. I really do. And he wasn't even good in his last positions, but because they were like state positions, I just don't think a lot of people knew much about him, but yeah, well, let's watch her video for running for St. Louis. I'm so excited. Okay. All right. This is her video. It's great.
What does it mean to be from St. Louis? When I think of home, I think of our community's red brick. Strong, weathered, resilient. Alone, one brick can be broken. But together, brick by brick, our neighborhoods, our history, and our strength become a force and a movement. I ran for Congress because I know what it feels like to be a working class St. Louis. Too often unseen, unheard, left out. I promised to fight for St. Louis, and we delivered. We brought billions of dollars home, directly to our community. We secured flood relief when disasters struck our neighbors. We fought for families poisoned by Coldwater Creek.
Yeah, and she did that. She did that while she was in Congress, and it didn't even get passed until she got out of Congress. And so that's why I think I talked about this actually when we were talking about like the radioactive shrimp and stuff. When we were talking about that, I talked about this. I said Cori Bush, she actually she has been pushing to get people who have been hurt by the radiation, because there's nuclear waste and like contamination in Missouri and I think in Illinois as well. But what they've done is they stored like nuclear waste underground, and it's contaminated things. And so she has been pushing to get them compensation for years now, and it finally went through. And it went through after she was out of Congress, and she was still pushing it for it, and she was still talking about it even when she wasn't in Congress anymore, even after she lost. And so that's what I mean by she actually cares. Like, she means what she says, and she actually cares. Okay.
And we always stood up for the most vulnerable. But because I spoke truth, they pushed back, attacked my name, my motives, spread lies and hate. But even after leaving office.
And I love how she's coming after him for AIPAC. She's saying, hey, you took AIPAC money. Because I think, again, that when people realize he took AIPAC money, I think enough people know what that means now, that they're like, nope, that's an automatic no for me. Like, automatically I'm a no. And so, yeah, I do think she has a good chance.
When the storms came, I showed up on the ground.
She did.
Because that's what needed to be done. And that's what our district deserves. This community is my purpose. And what ifs don't define us. Action does. I ran for Congress to change things for regular people. I'm running again because St. Louis deserves leadership that doesn't wait for permission, doesn't answer to wealthy donors, and doesn't hide when things get tough.
Yep.
Feel it roaring.
All across America, we see it. Our rights rolled back, our history being rewritten, our lives on the line. The stakes for our community.
And this
here,
was that was okay. So that was the protest that I was at, the Wesley Bell Town Hall, and that guy right there in the green shirt, he was brutalizing protesters, and he actually, I think he worked at some college, and they ended up firing him because he pulled one girl's hair, he pushed another person. There were like 3 or 4 people that were actually like inside protesting inside. The rest of us were outside, and he brutalized them. He literally sat there and pushed them and shoved them and pulled their hair, and it was disgusting. And that was Wesley Bell's security. That's what Wesley Bell did to people who were protesting him about Gaza. That's what he did. That is what Wesley Bell did. And that's why I'm saying he got a lot of bad publicity after that, and he deserved it because he was brutalizing protesters. And of course the cops who were there just like watched and didn't care and helped. But yeah, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. And so that's what this is. That's what this is alluding to.
have never been higher.
Yep, see, the cops were helping them because of course they were.
Running because our district deserves someone 10 toes down for our families, for our wallets, for our safety, for our democracy, and for our bright future. St. Louis is built different. So am I, and so are we.
Yay! I'm so excited. Okay, I am. I'm really excited. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I donated to her campaign and I signed up to be a volunteer and I can't wait. I have to look and see if there's anything coming up, but I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. And I do think she has a chance to beat Wesley Bell because people don't like him here. I think a lot of people don't like him. And so I'm very excited. I'm so excited. The last thing we're going to talk about, which is someone who I do not believe when they talk about things, is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Little segue there. So Marjorie Taylor Greene has been talking to a lot of different people lately, and she has been blaming the Republicans on the shutdown. And there are a lot of people who are like, wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually telling the truth and da-da-da-da. And I just gotta say, I don't trust her. And I've been saying this since TYT has been giving her, interviews and being like, oh, we should listen to her, come, compromise with her. I don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is just grifting because she sees what's coming up. She sees what lies ahead, and she sees that this is not popular and what Trump is doing is not popular. I also think it's a lot of spite because they kind of like pushed her out of the administration. I think she wanted to be VP, and I remember when she was vying for VP and she wanted to be VP and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like they pushed her out. She didn't get a prominent position in his administration, and I think she was wanting that in the beginning, and she didn't. And they've been like pushing her out. So now she's going against them, and I don't trust her. But a lot of people on the left are like, wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I just don't trust her. And so we're gonna watch this news about the government shutdown and what she says and stuff like that. And then we're gonna watch AOC kind of call her out for her reaction about Bad Bunny, which is hilarious. And when I watched this video, it was so funny. But I just wanted to point out that she is not our friend and that we should not sit here and give her the benefit of the doubt because she is still racist, she is still transphobic, she is still homophobic, and anything that she agrees with you now on, I just don't trust that she will agree with you on in, a couple months, let alone a couple years. So I just wanted to point that out, all right? So let's watch Marjorie Taylor Greene's little turn here because it's what everyone's talking about lately and it's bothering me. All right. Okay, I keep scrolling down every time all right, here we go.
Brian, good morning. Always great to have you with us. So lawmakers remain deadlocked more than a week into this shutdown now, continuing to point fingers, blame each other, each party saying it's the other's fault. Now, the Senate keeps voting on competing funding bills, doesn't have support in the chamber. Where are we at this point in terms of ending this shutdown? Any sign that there is going to be some bipartisan agreement?
No. That's the short answer to that.
Thank you, Ryan.
No, I don't think. No, the shutdown's probably going to last for a very long time. Which is not fun. But also, like, I'm glad the Democrats aren't caving for once. Okay.
I mean, they really have not made any progress. I mean, there are these kind of sidecar conversations with some bipartisan lawmakers. There was a dinner last night, but none of it has reached the leadership level. The two sides are very much entrenched in their previous positions that basically got us into this shutdown. The only thing that I would say is even slightly different is that prior to the shutdown, Republicans weren't even interested in talking about health care in any sort of meaningful way. You're starting to see the slow creep.
I wonder why. And now that the Democrats are actually standing their ground, they're like, okay, well, maybe we can talk about it. Maybe. That's why it's good. That's why they need to stand their ground. That's why they need to have backbones.
Of them introducing a healthcare argument into the conversation, but they're still insistent that that real negotiation can't happen until after the shutdown ends. So we're still basically in the same place we were before this whole thing started.
And perhaps the Republican who's talking most about health care is Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's been very vocal about her concerns during the shutdown and those premiums going up. We mentioned yesterday how she seems to be breaking with fellow Republicans when it comes to this issue. You actually spoke with her one-on-one. What did you learn?
Yeah, it was a pretty wide-ranging interview, Joe, and if we thought that she was going to back away from those comments that she made on social media from the night before, we were definitely wrong. She doubled down. She truly believes that her party is handling this situation incorrectly. She believes that healthcare is a real crisis in this country, and the time to talk about it is now. Listen to what she told me.
This is the number one issue I hear about in my district. Health insurance premiums are unaffordable, not only for people on the ACA, but also families, maybe small business owners that buy their own health insurance. And with the cost of living today, I think it's reached a boiling point. I am personally against the government shutdown. I really want to be doing appropriations. I believe in that process. That's our job, bringing taxpayer dollars back to our districts that help our communities, roads, water projects, you name it.
And a couple of other ways that she's breaking with her party on this particular issue. She disagrees with Speaker Mike Johnson. She thinks the House should be in session right now negotiating this issue. She also thinks that the Senate, if they can pass judges with a straight party line vote, should also be able to vote on a straight party line vote to open up the government, suggesting they should go nuclear, as it says, and break the filibuster to get the government back open.
Yeah, and so a lot of people are looking at this and they're like, wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's not she's become woke, but like, wow, she's waking up. Wow, like there's this divide in MAGA, which there is. I'm not going to say that there's not like a divide or there's not some type of like crack in MAGA. I feel like there are certain factions, just like same with the Democrats or the left, right? There are different factions and we squabble between the different factions or the different types of people on that side. But I just... to think that some great, if she wants to help the Democrats in doing a bipartisan deal to get back in session and make sure those subsidies don't go away, great. I'm not saying that they shouldn't leverage that. I'm not saying that the Democrats shouldn't use that to their advantage. They should. But I think having faith in her or thinking that she's somehow changed or has seen the light is just not true. And to think that like she's our friend of some sort is just not true. I think she can just, she's reading the room and she can see that what Donald Trump is doing is not popular. And so she is going to differentiate herself. And she understands that even though I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's not going to last forever. And so whenever it does end, maybe people will look at her in a better light because she did not support some of these more unpopular things that they're doing. I still am not going to sit here and like praise her and be like, oh my gosh, because she's still every day saying really racist, really transphobic, really crazy shit on a daily basis. So like, let's not try to whitewash her or her beliefs because she is not our friend. She always seemed like the craziest GOP, but now she sounds like she's the less crazy one. It's just weird. No, it is weird, and it's a weird turnaround. And I mentioned this a lot, but I watch Waj a lot, and he actually predicted this. He predicted that the Republicans and MAGA are going to go so far right that Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to seem like the sane one. And it happened, and it's happened, and it's here, man. It is here. But it's about expectation. No, I totally understand. And I get it. But I feel like people like TYT, or there are people who try to like, I don't know, try to be like, okay, see, we can work with her. We can do this. And it's like, yeah, I guess you can. Like, I'm not saying that the Democrats shouldn't work with her. They should. They should leverage this. If she wants to make a deal, if she wants to help, then they should leverage it. They should leverage that fight within the Republicans. They should do that. But I just want to remind people of who she is. And so she has been upset about Bad Bunny she's upset about Bad Bunny being the halftime show performer at the Super Bowl, as are a ton of Republicans, which is just so stupid, which is just so insane, because their whole thing is like, oh, he's gonna speak Spanish, oh, he's not American. He is American, actually. He's an American citizen. He's from Puerto Rico. And I said this before, but like the amount of people that don't realize that like Puerto Ricans are American citizens, it's kind of scary, not gonna lie. It's a little crazy. It's like a little weird, because just the sheer amount of people that don't realize that is, the American education system has really let everyone down. Yes, has really let everyone down. And so there's a lot of people don't realize that, but she's been going against that. And so AOC has a response, and her response was hilarious. So I wanted to watch that. You would not expect Trump to answer a straight question with no weave or wave BS, aka his brain is white sauce. His brain is white sauce. Oh my gosh, he is losing his mind. And he got vaccinated over the weekend, by the way, just so everyone knows. Just so everyone knows, which you should do. I'm going to do it I think next week. I need to do it. I've been having to put it off because I keep getting sick, and I don't think you're supposed to get vaccinated when you're sick. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor, but I am going to get my flu shot and vaccinated next week. But I keep getting sick, which is why I need to get vaccinated, which I need to get those things. So I'm going to do that. So you should too, because I know they're going to stop. It's going to be harder to get, I believe, because the government is not saying like you should get it. And so now it's harder to get in some places. Anyway, let's watch this hilarious response from AOC. I watched this the other day, and it really it made me laugh. Okay, sorry. I don't know what is going on. Oh, here. Why did it do that? Okay, here we go. It's like, what just happened? All right. I had it up, but now it's not working. Interesting. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, let's exit out of that. Let's do this again. Okay, here we go.
All right, so I know there's a lot of serious stuff going on in the news right now. Part of me almost wants to do like 2 serious updates and then 1 less serious update just to keep us going, you know? Anyways, I want to call your attention to this. The whole Bad Bunny situation, Marjorie Taylor Greene, like super upset because he said, you know, y'all have 4 months to learn Spanish. And
so he was on SNL, and this was after it was after they announced that he was going to be doing the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and all the right wingers had like literally just like we're so upset, we're just like freaking out. So this is after that. He was on SNL, and a part of his monologue he did in Spanish, and he said, if you don't understand that, you know, you have a few months to figure it out. And I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. I was like, yes, yes. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was perfect. And so this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene responded with. Okay.
I want to let you know, I've worked on a committee with this woman. I've seen her try to read. They're not mad because he's speaking Spanish. They're mad, and she's mad because she can barely speak English. And the idea of introducing any more words is too much to bear. She may have just learned acetaminophen this week. It's too, they fry.
Pam Bondi is going on fire.
Okay. Oh my God. I was watching that story and I was like, I have to record this. I have to record this. This is too good. This is too good. Oh my God. It's hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah, no, everyone's up in arms because they're like, all he does is songs in Spanish and no one's going to understand it. I'm like, you understand that like Texas and like Arizona, like they're parts of them were in Mexico, right? Like you get that, right? Like some of the indigenous people in this country are Mexican. Like no, I mean he's Puerto Rican, so like that's different. But I'm just saying like the Spanish language is not like it's not like it's un-American or whatever the hell they're trying to say is all I'm trying to point out. It's just, it's gold, literally gold. AOC is on fire. Honestly, it's so funny. It's so funny. And she's right. We should just laugh at them, because it's so absurd that you're getting mad about this. This is so absurd that this is what you're upset about. There's so much going on and you're upset about Bad Bunny. And you're saying this is like somehow an attack on conservatives. It's ridiculous. But something that Turning Point USA has decided to do is they've decided that they're going to have their own halftime show. And so this is what it looks like. And so she said, this is great. But huge announcement. It's true. Turning Point USA is thrilled to announce the All-American Halftime Show. Turning Point USA presents the All-American Halftime Show celebrating faith, family, and freedom. I don't know musical guest to be announced. And someone made this fake flyer and it had Nelly on it. It had Nelly on it because he performed for Donald Trump before. And so it had Nelly on it, had all these different people on it. It was quite funny. But yeah, and so there's going to be 2 Super Bowl halftime shows this year. The real one, the actual one. And then Turning Point USA is also going to have one because sure, man, whatever. I mean, this is so ridiculous. This is so stupid. But I mean, whatever, man. If you think that them picking Bad Bunny is like an affront to you, I don't know. To me, you're the snowflake. Like, who's the snowflake now, man? Who's the snowflake now? Oh, crazy. All right. Well, that was the last topic of today. I hope that everyone had a good Sunday and has a good night. And thank you so much for joining me on my live tonight. It was fun. I am sorry if I was trying to be very I'm trying to have high energy, but I am a little bit under the weather again. I'm telling you, it's losing my mind. Losing my mind. But it's okay. But anyway, yes. So thank you so much for joining me. And I am going live again. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. I'll be live again on Wednesday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. My mind is gone. Honestly, so is mine. I'm just so tired all the time now. I'm just trying to survive, just trying to survive. But yes, thank you all so much for joining me. It was fun to talk about all these things with you all. And before I go, not me. Before I go, I want to say thank you to my members. So thank you to Troy Roberto, Crystal Safira, and Creflo. Thank you so much for being members. I just posted a member video yesterday about Ed Gein and my review on that, and how they used a lot of transphobic tropes in that show. And now I'm actually watching the Menendez Brothers one because I hadn't seen the other 2 seasons of it. So yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. But that's I made a video about Ed Gein and everything for members, so if you want to check that out, become a member. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for I'm trying. I'm doing better. I'm getting better. But yes, it's stay healthy out there, okay? I've been starting to wear masks again because it's a lot of stuff is going around. So stay healthy, stay safe, and I love you all. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all Wednesday. Bye.